Coach, you're going up against some conference foes here. I know they won't count towards your conference record, but it would be nice to see some familiar faces and see how you kind of match up with some of the conference foes.
Yeah, it'll be good to play again. We've had a little time off now, which has helped us because we were, our pitchers weren't quite ready yet, and with one of our pitchers coming off injury. So playing these conference teams is good, but even though they're not counting as conference games, they're region games. So that's very important. We discussed this one time before that only the conference tournament champion gets to advance to the regional. 16 teams in our conference, so you look at it as 1 in 16 is going to win the conference tournament in advance, but you can still get to the next round with an invite by doing well in region games. So these 4 games might be more important than conference games this weekend, so we got to be ready and we got to play our best on Saturday and Sunday.
How you doing health-wise?
We're in good shape right now. Spencer was hurting a little bit, one of our top pitchers down in Vegas, and we had to shut her down the last day. And Cornejo, we've been kind of bringing her along slowly off her surgery, and she's progressing nicely. So, and the rest of our players, we've got one sick right now that probably won't practice later tonight, but other than that, we're in good shape.
How about these 4 teams you're going to see this weekend? These teams that you think you'll be battling in the conference get sent away?
Yeah, it's kind of the teams close to St. Cloud. St. Cloud hosted a tournament last weekend in their dome, and so they're not playing in this one, but it's teams close to St. Cloud: Crookston, Bemidji, Concordia, St. Paul, and us. So it's all NSIC teams, and we only play all the teams in our conference one doubleheader each year. Like there's 15 other teams, you play them a doubleheader, and that's it for the year. So it's not like you get too many games against these guys anyway, and it's good to get to be able to play. St. Cloud has a bubble, and we actually rent it. We're putting on this tournament, and we're hosting it, and the other teams are chipping in. So if you don't play in these bubbles this time of year, you got to spend a lot of money to go way south, and I think playing these is really good for us, and to play teams in our conference and get to see them for what we're going to be seeing later on. It's good. It's a good deal for us.
It gives you that familiarity level, Coach. But at the same time, like how you mentioned it being important on the region scale, how exciting is it for you guys in this program to have that kind of opportunity? Like conversely, we were just talking with baseball, like they have a sample size of games just to get ready for the regular season. You guys have games that matter so soon.
Yeah, it's good. I think there's something to play for. It's not like you're just going to go out and scrimmage, and you have to play to win, and every pitch means something, and you have to work on things early in the season, like your backups and hitting the cutoffs. It's very important to win. I think you have a sense of urgency to start the season, and I think it's really good for us. Last year we came out of the gate really well until we hit, I think we lost 4 starters to broken bones and stuff, but winning those games early and getting on the right track can mean a lot to your season, set the tone. So hopefully we can get on a roll right away.
Since Vegas and leading up to this tournament over in St. Cloud, what's been the biggest area of focus in practice?
Probably ground balls and infield and defense. We've got a pretty good hitting lineup. Up and down the lineup, we're pretty deep. And each game, somebody else can hurt you with the long ball. I figured we'd average a home run a game if we're really, doing our job. And yeah, we've played 5 games, and now we have 5 home runs, and they all came from different people. So I think our power numbers are going to be there, and we've got pretty good base running and pretty good pitching. But I wasn't happy with our defense down in Las Vegas, and we've been working on that. I'm sure our girls are getting sick of taking ground balls. We've been out on the turf the last couple days taking ground balls, but that's been a major focus for us since we got home from Vegas.
How big in this league is that power production going to be, Coach, if you guys are able to sustain like half your lineup being able to hit long like that?
It gets more and more important once the higher level teams you play, and you get into that conference semis and conference finals. Those games are generally 3-2, 2-1, maybe even 1-0. And if you can pop a long ball in one of those games, it's a huge lift for you. A lot of regular season games, you're playing 2 games on Wednesday, 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday, and you're seeing pitchers that are number 2 and number 3 pitchers, and teams can score a lot of runs. But when it gets to tournament time, the run production goes down. You see the other team's best pitchers all the time, and being able to pop a long ball now and then is a huge advantage in the postseason.
How do you like playing on turf for your team? Does that give you a chance to get defensively, to get those true hops and things like that, and you can iron things out a little bit?
Yeah, our players love playing on the turf. They always have. It's a true hop, and you don't get a bad hop. It plays fast. It's fun to slide on if you're stealing bases, and it's just true. But then if you play, I think back when Greenberg and Friesen were pitching for us, I think we must have played 20, 22 games on turf because the weather was horrible. But we played in Rochester's, we played in St. Paul's, we played in Vannius Heights, we played in St. Cloud's. We played on our own turf about 10 games. But then adversely, when you do have to go back to the dirt, it's a little bit different and maybe tougher for you because you've been spoiled. It's just so smooth on the turf, but it's sure fun to play on, and we love it. So I'm glad we're playing on it this weekend because, heck, one year we had to move our conference tournament indoors, and they moved it to Rochester because it got to be poor weather, and we had to get the games in. And we made it all the way to the championship in that one and with Mankato. But I like playing on turf, and so do our players.